Well, greetings, Mac enjoyers, and I downloaded a program called 64, which is the N64 emulator made for PowerPC Macs. I also downloaded version 0.92. Yeah, when I tested out 0.95, it had that weird glitching effect. I have no idea why it had that glitching effect. Hopefully this version will work better. Yeah, there's 64s. Okay. Open recent. Pause. Okay. I didn't configure the controller yet. Oh wait, I already did. It is very slow. Okay, let's try out Super Mario 64. You'd think with a 450 MHz PowerPC G4 processor that it would run N64 games with no problem at all, but doesn't seem to be the case. Oh, and Super Mario 64, well. Still has that weird blackness. Yeah, Super Mario 64 is running somewhat decently. Alright, let's see. Yeah, it looks like a Shadow Mario. Yeah, imagine something like Shadow Link except Mario. Would be a cool boss. Yeah, it looks fine on the emulator itself. Well, when I get into the game itself. Yeah. Super Mario 64 seems to run the best here. Yeah. I played the DS version with the additional characters, and it was a great game. Yeah, it should tell you that it is one of the best 3D games ever made. It even has a controllable camera, which should become a standard with 3D games. Yeah, I have no idea why the title screen had that weird, shadowy effect. Especially when I go into the game itself, and Mario's just fine. Has that Jarrett watermark. Yeah, we're in Bomb Battlefield. Yeah, this is where the frame rate tanks. Because it's a 450 megahertz processor. It does run somewhat decently on it. I mean, even Windows 95 PCs were known to run N64 emulators. Was it Windows 98? I can't remember, but in the 90s, people started emulating Nintendo 64 games on Windows 98 PCs, or was it 95? So yeah, N64 emulation existed even in the days of Windows 95 and 98, which is crazy. Anyways, that'll be enough testing for Super Mario 64. Now let's test out a game that isn't nearly as taxing. Let's try out Mario Kart 64. Yeah, this game only has 3D backgrounds. The sprites are 2D. There's Mario Kart 64. Alright, let's try it. 100cc. Okay, let's see. Which one should I select? Let's select Toad. It's one of the best characters in the game. Yeah, this is a game where the AI is known to cheat. What is with the effects here? Yeah, like, keep in mind, these aren't 3D sprites. These are 2D sprites. And yet it still has that shadowing effect. Okay, so G4 testing complete. Let's try the other G4 to see if things will hopefully be better. Here we go, same 3 games. Let's see if the PowerBook G4 will do better. Open. Yeah, and Super Mario 64. A bit of stuttering, but so far so good. And heck, it even shows Mario and doesn't have that weird shadowing effect. Still can't skip the cutscenes though. Yeah, there are some frame drops, but I say it's looking pretty good. Yeah, there's Lakitu there. Shouldn't you be helping Bowser? Yeah, it's the first time I went into the water. Yeah, there's the way out, by the way. It's a good way to test the swimming physics. Runs amazingly well on the PowerBook G4. Yeah, going to Bob on Battlefield. Yeah, there are some noticeable frame drops here. Once you go into the Bob Battlefield and there's enemies here, the frame rate starts to tank. Although it's not nearly as bad as on the PowerMac G4. Just hope I can get a processor upgrade for that computer soon. Yeah, there's some bombs. Alrighty, that's enough of that. What about F-Zero X? Okay. Yeah, F-Zero X struggled to run on the PowerMac G4 with the default processor. Yeah, it needs the memory expansion pack. Yeah, let's do standard. Yeah, I've ran this game on another emulator before, and even it had emulation issues. Yeah, no shadowing effect. Although its frame rate is noticeably worse than Super Mario 64. Yeah, music sounds a bit weird. Yeah, they intentionally went with lower poly models because they want the game to run at 60 FPS. That's why they did that. Yeah, unlike the previous F-Zero game, you could actually use boost anytime you want. But here's a catch though. It uses up energy, so you have to be careful with using boost. Anyways. Let's test out Mario Kart 64 to see if it has the same problems. Mario Kart 64 has 2D sprites instead of 3D sprites, so it probably won't be as bad. And I also downloaded the USA version instead of the European version this time around. Select Toad. It's one of the best in the game. Mushroom Cup. No weird effects, but still some frame drops. Whoops, I did it again! Although this time, the sprites actually render. That is cool. Let's step it up a notch and go on the G5. Alrighty, I got the controller set up and we're all set. Let's open a ROM. This time we're going to switch things up. We're going to try out Mario Kart 64 first. Here we go. Yeah, it does have some noticeable slowdown, but works fine. In fact, the G4 processor is known to be a faster processor than G5, and this is a newer version of 64s, by the way. Select Toad. Mushroom Cup. Oh, and look, it's got the sprites. No blackening effect. It runs well for the most part. There is some slowdown with the frame rate, but still runs pretty well. Yeah, the AI in Mario Kart 64 is known to cheat. But it's not as bad as Super Mario Kart, though. Bananas. Yeah, no matter how fast you go, the AI will always catch up to you. Yeah, it's still no replacement for playing the real thing. I love playing the real deal. The Nintendo 64. I basically have all three games. Mario Kart 64, Super Mario 64, and F-Zero X. Yeah, it can get choppy, but it does run pretty smooth for the most part. Not even the PowerBook G4 is able to run this well. There we go, that's Mario Kart 64. Now let's try out F-Zero X. Yeah, it's a 3D racing game, by the way. Yeah, unlike Mario Kart 64, this one has 3D sprites. Alright, here we go. Open. F0X. Yeah, there's a lot of slowdown here. Yeah, at least with the intro, but oops. Looks like it didn't configure the controller again. I'll check. Configure controllers. Oops. Looks like we've got to configure the controller again. It doesn't save the controller configuration. There. That's more like it. Now we can resume. Seems to run better when you get to the menus. There we go. I believe the other G5 will run this game better if it gets its SSD. I don't think the iMac G5 has as much RAM. But it's more playable than on the PowerBook G4 though. Although I'd much rather play it on an actual Nintendo 64 any day. Okay, here we go. Again, you can pretty much spam the booster if you want, just watch out for the energy. Oh, we're almost out. We gotta go to the recharge station. Good enough. On to Super Mario 64. The big one.
It's me, Mario! Hello! Okie dokie.
Dear Mario, please come to the castle. I have baked a cake for you. Yours truly, Princess Toadstool. Peach.
So yeah, some games run better than others. On this emulator, but it still don't run perfectly. Here we go. Yeah, it runs perfectly. Bit of stuttering, but it's okay. Let's see how it does against enemies. Yeah, just like before, it does have frame dips once enemies are present, but not as bad though. See if we can go up to King Babam himself. Whoops. Went the wrong way. I fell back. Cool thing about this game is being able to control the camera. And it controls fluently. This is what a 3D game, 3D platformer game should be. Great camera control, and, well, great control all overall. Jump. I don't know how we got that low, but oh well. Try to tiptoe. It only shows red for some reason. Might be an emulation issue. There he is, King Babam himself. It's the king of all bombs. Yeah, he is a really easy boss. I think in the DS version you have to, well, throw bombs at him as Yoshi when you first come up against him, because Yoshi doesn't have a grappling ability, just eats stuff. There we go. Defeat the king of all bombs. We got a star.
Here we go!
So yeah, in my opinion, the best computer that I've tested is the PowerBook Mac G5, at least when it comes to Nintendo 64 emulation. I mean, the iMac G5. The PowerBook Mac G5 is still out of service. Yeah, the iMac G5 is the best computer I've tested with the Nintendo 64 emulator, called 64s. But wait, there's more! I also have something else. Yeah, I have a Mac version of Microsoft Office, and I'm going to install it on the G4, so let's go. Here we go. It's time to install Office Mac 2004, or Microsoft Office 2004 for Mac. Okay, so far so good. Oh, I have to enter my password. There. Now we're back. More information. There we go. Now we got the product key, which I'm not going to show. But it's a product key for an old version of Microsoft Office there, but I still won't show it. Because, well... There we go. Now, it's time for the fun stuff. Whoops. So yeah, you needed to enter in a lot of information, but once it's fully installed, we'll test out the word processor itself. There's not much to a word processor. It's pretty much like reviewing a litter scooper or, well, calendar. What is there to it? But I'm still going to test it out, so... Finally, we got Word installed on the G4. It's time to see what Microsoft Word 2004 on the Mac can do. Alrighty. Here we go. Yeah. So yeah, Microsoft Word works. I mean, it's Word. It pretty much works on any computer you try it on. Even computers as old as 1990. But anyways, I'm going to sign off. Because I wanted to have this whole episode dedicated to testing out the N64 emulator for PowerPC and seeing which computer it works best with. Yeah, it's time to sign off. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell just in case I haven't already done so. I said thank you for watching, not the F word, by the way. Catch you guys next time, and peace out.